If it's a one-on-one on land, on sea, or sky, always bet on Hishaku.
The Banshee Sorcerer or Hatshaku is one of the first characters that we were introduced to in Kagurabachi. He's been around since chapter 1, so let's discuss every single Hatshaku appearance and his role in Kagurabachi part 1 to finally answer the question, what does he even do? Chapter 1. This is the first time we see Hatshaku when he tries to use his sorcery to intimidate a kid. Hatshaku is doing his favorite job, collecting taxes. Also, this is the first time we see sorcery being used in Kagurabachi. All Hatshaku does here is bullying a kid and then disappearing, leaving the tree behind. At the beginning of chapter 2, Hatshaku uses his sorcery remotely to explode Mr. Yakuza boss's head. Then he uses it to fill the entire room with pine trees, forcing Chihiro and Shiba to leave. He appears in this chapter for a second time, now in a flashback. This is our first look at Kunishige Rokuhira's murder, where we see Hatshaku alongside other Hishaku members. Hatshaku's next appearance is chapter 7, where he and Yura meet Sojo. Hatshaku doesn't do anything here. Then he dips out until he appears for a very brief moment in chapter 18, where he retrieves the Tanseki and disappears again. Chapter 40. Hatshaku has only one appearance in the Rakuzaichi arc, and after doing nothing for 22 chapters, what does he do? He goes on a date with Yura, and all he does is just drink wine. Now we move to the Swordbearer Assassination arc. This arc has the highest number of Hatshaku appearances, and he actually does something useful here. After not doing anything useful since chapter 18, Hatshaku is finally featured in a fight, and we have a whole 3 chapters in a row featuring Hatshaku. Is he about to do something? He appears to fight Samurai in the Senkusuji temple alongside the Tanseki power sorcerers. When the Tanseki sorcerers die, pine trees erupt from their bodies and start destroying the temple. Then Hatshaku appears and starts acting cool in front of Samura. Samura calls Hatshaku a bitch and asks him to go over there so he can exterminate him, and Hatshaku politely declines. Hatshaku has the advantage in this fight since Samura can sense pines because they have no will. All of the explosions are dulling Samura's senses. Once Masumi, Uruha and Hakuri arrive to back up Samura, Hatshaku continues to pressure them and continues to talk shit. Hatshaku puts up a great showcase and he's able to overwhelm all of our heroes, of course with the help of dozens of the Tanseki power sorcerers. But the second Samura gets to Bimune and cuts the tree, Hatshaku instantly runs away and we're not going to see him anytime soon. Hatshaku's next appearance is in chapter 73, when Yura goes like, "Lois, remember that time you and I was spreading propaganda against samurai and the sword bearers?" Then in chapter 75, Hatshaku meets Yura in Tokyo. They discuss their operation to retrieve Shinuchi and begin its realization, and Hatshaku finally does something useful. On Yura's command, he uses his sorcery to attack Kamunabi HQ's force field. In chapter 78, Hatshaku starts destroying the first level of the building, wreaking havoc and forcing Kamunabi to abandon the defense of the first level. Then we have 2 brief Hatshaku appearances in chapter 79 and chapter 87, when he appears in the flashback. In chapter 80, we see a Kamunabi member exploding, which creates a pine tree that was planted by Hatshaku. The tree starts growing rapidly and filling room by room. The same chapter, we just see Hatshaku chilling and drinking
coffee
while everybody else is fighting for their lives. Instead of fighting, Hatshaku is filling out papers and just talking on his phone. Is he some sort of consultant or a manager? Good evening, this is the Hishaku Emotional Support Service. My name is Hatshaku, what can I help you with? So basically, for the last 9 chapters, all Hatshaku's been doing is filling out papers. Wow! The last Hatshaku appearance in Kagurabachi Part 1 happens in chapter 89. The last thing he does is call Hokuto to tell him Uruha is alive. And yeah, that's the end of Hatshaku. He never appears or does anything in this story again. So what does Hatshaku actually do? The answer is simple. Everything you can ask him for. Hatshaku is the delivery guy of the Hishaku. When you need to fetch something, you ask for his help since you're too lazy to do it yourself. When you need to call somebody, you ask Hishaku to do that. He's got you. He's the yes man of Kagurabachi. Everybody needs their own Hishaku.
Hatshaku. 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 Hatshaku.
He's what I call man's best friend. If you need help with your everyday tasks, call Hishaku. Also, if you really think about it, he's actually proven to be a very powerful sorcerer by his performance in the Senkusuji temple. But the thing is, Hishaku is really lazy. He really likes to talk shit and do bills. I think he must have a degree in finance if he's so passionate about filling out papers. Maybe that was his childhood dream. Hishaku's job is to make an entrance and then leave. He does all the distracting, while other people do the fighting. As for the future, I really doubt we're going to see Hatshaku very soon. He's probably appearing at the very end of the Seitei War arc. I really hope he does something. So the conclusion is, Hatshaku is very powerful and mysterious sorcerer who doesn't want to do shit.